Just a quick overview of Bulletin 132. It contains a number of interesting cases. The first I'll mention is Young and Martin. There, two people purchased a property as joint tenants. One put their half in as cash, the other borrowed the money. When the borrowing party to the joint tenancy passed away, the surviving joint tenant alleged that there'd been an arrangement that his estate would pay out the mortgage. The court was not satisfied that there was such an arrangement, and then went on to say that equitable principles would not require the estate to discharge the obligation of the testator to pay out the mortgage when it related to a property that was not part of the estate of the deceased joint tenant. I think the lesson there is, if there is a joint tenancy, there is a mortgage, then documenting what the arrangements are in respect of the payout of the mortgage would be quite critical to the likely success of any application along the lines of the one that was brought in that case. The next case, Demanti is instructive, not so much it's a family provision case, but not so much for any purpose other than that the court was of the view that the applicant did not identify his needs. A pretty important aspect of a family provision claim, an applicant. And also there was evidence given by his accountant about his ability to raise money and so on, that the court found was completely inadequate. So lessons there about proper trial preparation, and particularly addressing what the elements that need to be established at a matter such as the family provision claims, I think quite telling. The next one was a construction case. It was Critchley, Alice Maud Critchley estate. There it essentially boiled down to a life interest that passed to remainder persons, and the issue was simply that a particular property formed part of the life interest, and it seemed to be fairly easily resolved by the judge in that case. The briefly section talks about a couple of cases. The one I think most worth commenting upon is where the plaintiff had alleged that there was an informal will. The court was of the view, and possibly a codicil, informal codicil. The court was not satisfied that this particular unsigned document did constitute the will of the testator, because the intention that it be the will was not established, and nor was the issue of testamentary capacity addressed. So on those two counts, the documentation was not going to get up as an informal will. I think it's a case that reminds you that it's very important, if you are putting forward an informal document, that there should be clear evidence, or as good an evidence as can be gathered, about the intention of this informal document being the will of the person, and similarly that you address the issue of testamentary capacity in those circumstances. Thank you.